This is the one of the victim that were kidnapped along this Oshoko road. So he ran out from the capacity of the bandits.
Why which bus they operate yesterday in the earlier today? Can't say they operate 18 passenger. Can't say yes. Can't say one escape. Say why they go let person escape out of them. Can't say we can sit down say I can't tell the man say I dey come make I go toilet. Can't say make I toilet for here where they see me now. Can't say I person wey dey shout. Say make I move from small. Now here I run.
Okay.
This is just horrifying. So this young man in this video was said to have escaped from the hands of kidnappers who kidnapped them on their way from Abuja through Kogi State. They were in an 18-seater bus when their bus got stopped by bandits who marched them all through the bush path into the forest, crossing over 6, 7, 8 rivers before they got to their kidnappers' den. While they were there, this young man in this video escaped. And in the process of running away, he finally got to a village where he saw some people who helped him up and asked him to sit down. Thinking he had escaped from the hands of the kidnappers, thinking he has finally found rescue. And just then, some of the villagers in the community began asking him what had happened, where he was, and he was telling them that he was kidnapped by a group of bandits. And before he knew it, some of the guys picked up a phone as though they were calling police. But thankfully, he could hear a little of the language they were speaking because there was a little bit of Yoruba in the communication method that the villagers or the community people were using to speak to whoever they were speaking to on that phone. And from what he could hear, they were basically talking to the kidnappers, telling them that, why would you people allow one of them escape? And that is how he knew that he was fucked. And he maintained his cool, basically, and they told him to wait, that the police were coming and that people were coming to pick him and take him home. And somewhere along the line, he requested to use the toilet, and they even encouraged him to go in front of them, like, don't go into the bush, just do your business here. But he said he needed privacy, and they were like, okay, fine, go deep into the bush. And that was how he escaped again, running until he got to the main road to see police officers to make this video, from what I could gather. This was literally in a movie called The Herd. If you haven't seen The Herd, it's a movie that is in cinemas because that's where I saw it, but it's on Netflix now. And there was a scene in this movie that was already going viral of a woman who came to tip off the kidnappers, telling them that the police were looking for them. And a lot of people had sparked up conversations regarding how kidnappers get away with a lot of the things that they do get away with. And that is because the community of people surrounding them are aware of what they do, and they are the ones who tip them off and protect them. And this is a reality that we have now come to see play out right now in this time, in this very moment, especially regarding this particular story. And that has always been something that somewhere in my head I always knew, but I just couldn't prove it. I mean, there was no way I could prove it because it never made sense to me that kidnappers need food, they need clothes, they need shelter. They have friends, they have family. They have so many people who know where they are and what they are doing. And that takes a whole community. You all think that, oh, they are all inside the bush, inside the bushes. As deep as that bush are, that particular bush that they are doing what they are doing is a farmland. It's people's farmland. People go there, people see them, people fish there, people farm there, people pass there, people hunt there, people use the stream there, these people are not operating in isolated areas where nobody knows where they are. And that is how you know that some of these kidnappers are only succeeding and getting away with it because the community of people around there are helping them, are protecting them, are tipping them off. And some of them are even the ones who get their victims for them. There's this popular saying that goes that the world is not destroyed by people who do evil, but by people who see evil being done but do nothing. And it reminded me of that incident that happened in, was it Imo State? It's a kidnappers den story too that we covered. That it was a whole community where the victims were being put, a whole village that everybody ran away from. But yet nobody who ran away went to report to the police. And that is how you know that these kidnappers will only succeed because they have a whole community behind them. People know where the kidnappers are. The kidnappers are not ghosts. They know. They go to eat, they go to feed, they go to church, they go to the mosque. They have families, they have loved ones who bring them food, clothes, clean water. And that is how you know that they are also in touch with their community. Kidnappers will not succeed if they did not have the backup. And unfortunately, it's usually the community surrounding them that usually protects them. And another theory too that I am yet to prove, because I have no evidence, is I believe these drivers of these transport companies, they know what they are doing. Most times in a bus or in a vehicle where people get kidnapped in bulk, there are people amongst the victims that are working with the kidnappers. And that is something I also believe. In this 18-seater bus now that this boy was kidnapped from, I have a theory that somebody there knows the kidnapper and is in on it. That is my theory. I believe that these Okada men, taxi drivers, major transport vehicle drivers are the ones who play a role in feeding these kidnappers victims. That is on that theory that I believe strongly, because clearly they always know where to park for the kidnappers to come and just take them off. It could have been like, oh yeah, the kidnappers stopped the gun and asked them to come down. That could be possible. But most times the taxi drivers are the ones driving the victims straight to where they would be kidnapped. That's why if you're in a bus or in a taxi, put an eye on your driver. Put an eye on your driver. When you see them making call or always on their phone in a very funny way, just know that they are communicating with somebody. And that is very, very horrifying and terrible thing to be. That right now, the kidnapping business, so many people are in on it that you don't know who to trust anymore. There is no one to trust. And right now, we only have ourselves to trust. Be safe out there, because this is just disturbing, purely disturbing.